Okay, so we're going to look at 1/4 time now, but now we're going to add the minute hand to the hour hand. Okay, now we're going to have a look at some examples. So it means that it's 15 minutes, and I know we haven't really looked at 15 minutes yet, but pretty much this is the most important part. It's before. It's the before the next hour. So until now we've been looking at past, but now we're looking at before. So remember that each little dot is a minute. Between each number is 5 minutes. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. From here to here is 15. 5, 10, 15. So 15 out of 60 is the same as 1/4. Within here, if we go 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15, 15, we've got 15, 15, 15. That all adds up to 60. So one of these is a 1/4. So that's why this is a 1/4, and we're heading towards 1/4 to the hour, or 1/4 to the next hour. The minute hand. When we use the minute hand to show a 1/4 we draw it pointing at the 9. So here's our hour hand. It's pointing towards the 9, or to a 1/4 to the hour. Our minute hand points to the 9. It's showing that there is 15 minutes or a 1/4 left of the 60 minutes in an hour going towards the 9. And this is because the 9 is a 1/4 before the 12. And remember, if we break this up into 4, here is our 1/4 before we get to the 12. So your turn. I'll show you. We draw the minute hand to show a 1/4. We know it is a 2:45. That's what we're going to be looking at because the hour hand is pointing a 1/4 before the 3. So let's put our hour hand in. Here's our 1/4 mark. There's our hour hand. Let me change our color. And the minute hand is pointing to the 9. So our minute hand, always longer, points straight to the 9. Now that's the same for all 1/4s, just like all halves and all 1/4 pasts. They're always going to be pointing at the same number, and all the clocks. They're always pointing at the 9. So we need to draw the minute hand to show a 1/4. Now on your notes, this is what you're going to do. We know it is a 1/4 because the hour hand is pointing a 1/4 before the 7. Remember, before the 7. The minute hand is pointing to the, hope you can remember, that's right, pointing to the 9. So let's draw it in. So we're pointing a 1/4 before the 7, and the minute hand, the long one, is pointing at the 9. I hope yours looks like mine. So let's complete this sentence. We know it is a 1/4 what? Because the hour hand is pointing a 1/4 before the number. The minute hand is pointing to the, we know that the minute hand is pointing to the 9. And we can see here, the hour hand is pointing to the, it's a 1/4, well, it's pointing before the 12. So we know it is a 1/4 Now, you need to draw the minute hands to show a 1/4. And look at the 1/4. So we know that it is a 1/4 something because the hour hand is pointing a 1/4 before the number, and the minute hand is pointing to the 9. Well, we know the minute hand is going to be pointing to the 9 because it always points to a 9 for 1/4. And we know it's a 1/4 because that's the time that we're looking for, because the hour hand is pointing just before. No, it's not just before, is it? Just before the 4. A 1/4 of the way before the 4. Draw the minute hand to show 1/4. Well, quarter to what? Quarter to 8. Well, we know that let's read it. I know it is a quarter to something because the hour hand is pointing a quarter before the minute, or the something hand is pointing to the what? Well, we always know, we can see here, it's a quarter to 8. We know it is a quarter to 8 because the hour hand is pointing a quarter before the 8. The something hand is pointing to the something. Well, we know that the minute hand is pointing to the 9. So now we can draw it in. The hour hand is a quarter before the 8, and the minute hand is pointing to the 9. Your turn. Which one of these clocks shows a quarter to with the minute hand? Now on your sheet, you need to decide which one is showing a quarter to using the minute hand and the hour hand, and which one is not. Excellent. Now it's time to finish your mastery task, adding the minute hand into all of the clocks. Then you can go and do your practice, which is the should do task. And then finally, when you get your should do task done, put your name on the board to find a partner to play, or more than one, to play the practice your time board game with. Get a dice, 6-sided die, and some counters, and you can have some fun playing and practicing reading time with your friends. When you've done that and you feel like you're ready, you can take the mastery check to see if you can move on to telling time by 5 minutes. Excellent work.